Hello everyone, my name is John Egan and I'm CEO and founder of BIMLauncher. Today I'm going to give a quick presentation on the workflow between the Oracle Aconex mail register and the Procore correspondence tool. This diagram shows a list of all the workflows that we currently offer as part of the BIMLauncher solution. So with that in mind, I want to move on to explaining a bit about how each workflow actually works. So each workflow reads from its source module. In this case would be the Aconex document register, mail register. It would then filter those mail to only the mail that we want to transfer to the destination module, which would in this case be the Procore correspondence tool. Following on from those filters, it would then map all the metadata and make the necessary adjustments to the mail in order to merge that in the following step to the destination module, which, as I said, would be the Procore correspondence tool. So those filter options, we offer the user the ability to configure the integration and how it actually transfers the correspondence or mail from the Aconex system into the Procore system. We can choose from transferring only the contents of the inbox, the sent box, or both. We can also provide fairly advanced filters which would enable us to include or not include different mail in Aconex based on values of attributes or metadata on those mail. So, for example, we can include mail threads with attributes or with the metadata value or the key value attribute 2, we can set to energy. So we'll only move mail with those attributes, with that attribute 2 set to energy, and vice versa. We can filter out mail threads with metadata value attribute 3 set to floor 1, for example. And we can layer up different filters to ensure that only the mail that you want transferred from Aconex into Procore is transferred into Procore. We also have quite an advanced mapping module that actually maps various different aspects of the mail as it's moved from the Aconex document or mail register into the correspondence tool. So for example, we can configure the mail types so that they match what correspondence types you have set in the Procore correspondence tool. Following on from that, we actually manipulate the mail thread to split it into the mail thread items and add each of these in chronological order to the Procore correspondence, to an individual Procore correspondence. So we'll have one mail thread in Aconex to one Procore correspondence, and each of the mail item content within that mail thread will be added as an individual response in the Procore correspondence. This will make more sense when we actually have a look at the Procore correspondence tool after this presentation. So we can also map the Aconex mail users, so who sent the item, who received it, etc., into the Procore users as well. So we can actually create these correspondence in Procore as native Procore correspondence with the users tagged on each of the correspondence. We also map across the attachments from each mail item as Procore correspondence responses attachments. So this means that each of your attachments that are available in the Aconex mail on each Aconex mail item will be available on the relative or the relevant correspondence response. And once again, this will make more sense in the demo. The next thing that we do is take all of the mail thread items metadata and actually format that into a table. So in your response in Procore, you can see all of the metadata belong to that mail item in one place in Procore. And the great thing about this is that it means that all of your mail item metadata is mapped across into Procore, and your users can use the search bar, which is quite advanced within Procore, to actually go through and actually search by the metadata. So this might be useful to see, let's say for instance, where you want to pull up um, um, only correspondence by an originator, for example. You can type that into the search bar and it would only pull up the relevant Procore correspondence with the value of that originator that you're looking for the mail to retrieve. So the other thing that we can do is actually map the statuses of the threads into the Procore correspondence statuses. And we can also override these as well. So for example, some of our customers have wanted to bring across the mail items from Aconex into Procore and actually force all of those to be closed. And the reason they're doing this is so that no notifications are sent out to their Procore user base, as you know, because their need for BIMLauncher in this case was to back up and archive that mail from Aconex. So this will make all more sense now. We'll jump into Procore and have a look at what these Procore correspondence look like. This is a sync we did earlier, and we have configured this sync so that only mail items with attribute 2 set to energy would come through to the Procore correspondence tool. We also have configured Procore with the a subset of the correspondence that we had in Aconex, and what we've done is actually mapped the mail types in Aconex to the relevant correspondence in Procore, and in some cases we've mapped 2 different mail types in Aconex into 1 mail type in Procore. And this is just really meant to demonstrate how we can actually support your needs to consolidate your mail types. We found a lot of customers have actually let their mail types have many different mail types in Aconex, and they've realized that they actually only want a few in Procore, and they want to create these maps from their mail types in Aconex into the correspondence tool. So what we're going to do here is just have a look at the correspondence item. The one that I have identified that we should talk about is this transmittal here. So we can see that this is the document or the mail number in Aconex along with the subject line. You can see that we created the service. That was created by us, our BIMLauncher service count user. So you can see that we actually have the service count user assigned on this correspondence. And you can see here that the relevant number in Aconex is SPL transmit 001. And what we've actually done is in the correspondence tool, when you're setting your correspondence types, you set a value to prepend each mail type. So this SPL transmit 001 is the Aconex mail item. You can see here that the mail number is here. You can see that this has 44 document attachments. So this is the first mail item, 44 document attachments, and there's one response from Patrick O'Leary saying he didn't say much, but you can see the attribute 1, let's say on that, is car park and office tower, and you can see attribute 2 has energy in it. So our filters are working in this case. So if we come down to the correspondence item, you can see that we have the created at date, the due date is mapped, the status is mapped. Our description here is something that we have designed just to allow the user to understand how each of these values are set based on their source data. But we can update and edit this description as you require. So you can see here, if we go to the first mail item, the first response, and this was the original correspondence type. You can see the transmittal from Mr. Anthony Taylor. And you can see there's 44 attachments. The attachments are all listed on that response, and the original HTML is actually available to download in the case that you want to review the original content of that mail. Onto the response, we can see that the original message was just some metadata auto-generated by Aconex, but we can see here it's in place on the second response, and you can see your attribute 1 as car park and office tower, secondary attribute innovation energy, etc. So pretty much that just about concludes the demonstration of the data in the Procore Correspondence tool based on a previous sync that we did from Aconex mail registry. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching, and I look forward to, and if you like what you see here, I look forward to your further engagement on your requirements to sync Aconex mail through to the Procore Correspondence tool. Thanks.